Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and in this video I'm going to be showing the fastest fully upgraded cars for under 100k around a circuit. If you want to know how all cars perform in a variety of different classes and formats, check the annotation on the screen or the link in the description for the full playlist of videos. If a car that costs under $100,000 isn't in this list, then it's either too slow or was released after this video was published and is featured in an update video, but of course feel free to subscribe for future updates. So in 10th place is the Buccaneer, and this has kind of set a trend really for quite a few muscle cars in this video. Now I need to explain first of all what this cost to race value is. Now when I say under $100,000, I don't mean that the car itself costs under $100,000. There's quite a few there, but what I'm talking about is the minimum cost it takes to fully upgrade these vehicles. So the Buccaneer and the next vehicle that we're about to see, which is the Gauntlet in 9th place, they have brake, engine, transmission and turbo upgrades available to them, and all of those put together cost $51,700. Now you can find the Gauntlet and you can find the Buccaneer on the streets in GTA Online, and because of that, if you find a Gauntlet on the streets, it costs you nothing to start in your garage. Then it will cost you $51,700 to fully upgrade, so it's usable in a race. Then therefore the total cost is $51,700 to get a car that's worthy to race. So in 8th place here we've got the Tailgater. Now the only difference with the Tailgater is that it has a spoiler available to it. Now you need a spoiler because it gives you extra traction in the corners, and that spoiler costs $550. So that brings the total cost to race up to $52,250. And it's a very good option, the Tailgater, for the sedans class. You know, it's 2nd place in sedans. It is still quite a bit off the shafter, but it's a good budget vehicle for the sedans class. The Phoenix is exactly the same. Again, you know, a lot of these modifications all cost exactly the same amount. 7th place overall in this video, 7th best muscle car. It's the same sort of thing. How, you know, if you were to buy these cars, some of these cars you can't actually buy, but for example with what we saw from the Tailgater, you could have bought the Tailgater on the in-game website, but the total cost would have been a lot more expensive. The same with the Felon GT here. You can buy the Felon GT on the in-game website, but if you don't, if you really are on a budget, what you do is find it online, find it in free roam, store it in your garage, and then once you've done that, you get the car for free, and it only costs you $51,700 to fully upgrade it and make it usable in a racing situation. So that's what this is. That's what this video is all about, giving you guys the best idea of which are the cheapest cars that you can possibly use to race. Now there are a few cars that cost under $100,000 to buy, but that's not what this is about. This is about the total cost to race. So even though a car may cost $90,000 to buy, it's still you're still going to have that extra $50,000 cost to fully upgrade it to use in a race. So for example, the Elegy costs nothing, but you aren't going to see it in this list because it costs more than $100,000 just to upgrade it so it's usable in a race. So that's where I'm coming at with this, and I needed to explain sort of where I got these values from and why these cars are in the list as they are. So we saw in 5th place the Sabre Turbo, and 4th place the Ruiner. Muscle cars are generally featured quite a bit on this because they are quite cheap to fully upgrade, and you can find them on the streets in GTA Online in free roam. And the Ruiner and the Sabre Turbo in general are both very good options for the muscle cars class if you want something on a budget. And the same is true for the Dune Buggy here, 3rd best overall, the 3rd quickest vehicle that costs under $100,000 to race, and the 3rd best off-road vehicle as well. Now this brings me on to another point, in that if you are going to do an off-road race, obviously the Sanchez is going to be your best pick. The Sanchez, just like all the other bikes, are generally much quicker than all of the cars, and they're very cheap to buy and upgrade as well. So that's why I didn't include bikes in this video. You know, when you're talking about bang for your buck, bikes are going to always be the best, but I wanted to focus on cars for this video. So in 2nd place is the Buffalo, which is a bit of a shock, you know, a bit of a surprise. The Buffalo doesn't really feature in any video really, you know, it's not really that great in the sports class. It's obviously, you know, 22nd best sports car, but you can find it on the street, you can store it for free, and it only costs $52,250 to fully upgrade with all the upgrades that you need for racing. This obviously doesn't include body modifications or cosmetic modifications. It's all about the cost that you need to race with it. Now obviously the Buffalo is going to be way off the pace in a sport class race, but it is reasonably quick car if you want something on a budget. However, the best car in this video is the Felon. The Felon is unbelievable how cheap it is and how good it is. It's almost 2 seconds per lap quicker than what we've just seen from the Buffalo there, and a hell of a lot quicker than everything else in this video. And it's so cheap, you know. It's incredible that we've got a car that is so cheap that is also so competitive. So the Felon is the second best coupe in the game. It's only 0.4 of a second slower than the Zion, but it's less than half the price of the Zion. The Zion will set you back, even if you find it off the street, around $114,000. This only costs you $52,250 because you can find it off the street, you can store it in your garage for free, and then it's very, very cheap to fully upgrade. So if you want a car for coupe races and you don't want to spend a lot, this is easily the best. Now the Felon is also very close to being the quickest 4-door car in the game as well. I think it's actually the third best 4-door car in the game behind the Sultan and the Kuruma, and you know it's less than a second off those as well. So the Felon is probably one of the best cheap cars in the entire game, and it's certainly a worthy purchase. Even if you're not on a budget and you've got loads of money, the Felon is a great choice, and it's something that I even use for coupe races. So what I want to also get across just before this video finishes is that there are around 60 or 70 cars that are under $100,000. Don't be fooled into thinking that all of the cars that are under $100,000 also cost around 50 odd thousand to upgrade. There's quite a lot of cars that will set you back 80, 90,000 that didn't make it in this list because they were just too slow. So that's something that you just need to take into account. You know, there are a lot of cars, the majority of cars actually cost under $100,000, and these 10 were the quickest of them. Obviously the absolute quickest cars in the game will generally be those that cost a lot to buy and then upgrade, such as the sport cars and the supercars, but these are definitely the best if you're on a budget. So let me know all your thoughts down below. Let me know if you needed any budget cars or if this video had helped. Just a bit of a different take on it this time. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. You know, if you're brand new, be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoyed, leave a like as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.